All right, so today we're on lesson 1.8, and we're only going to cover the first part, which is an introduction to equations. A few vocab words. One is equation. We have two words in math that we kind of use a lot. There's equation, and then there's expression. All right, equation and expression. You don't have to write that down, but I'm just going to kind of tell you the difference. If you want to write it down, but it's not a big deal. So equation is a math sentence with an equal sign, which makes sense because equation kind of sounds like equal, right? Makes sense. Equation has an equal sign. What do you think an expression means? If an equation has an equal sign, an expression doesn't, right? So an expression would be like 2x plus 4. Expression. Equals 10. Now it's an equation. Okay? Now, it's not a big deal to know the technical difference between these two. I mean, pretty much if somebody says equation or expression, they're talking about whatever math sentence they gave you, right? So most of us can figure it out without it, but I just thought I'd let you know. All right? Now, equations can be true, they can be false, or they can be open. Right, so those are three options for equations. An example of a true equation is like 2 plus 3 equals 5. Why is that one true, Isaac? Why is that one true? You don't know why this one's true? William? Because it is, right? It is what? True. It is. I heard a lot of people would say correct, right? Or it's right. Right? The math is done correctly, right? So this is a true one. Right? K, can you give me an example of another true equation? K. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12. Is that true? Sure, it's true. Braden, another true one. 2 plus 2 equals 4. All true ones, okay? Do you have one that you want to say? No. Do you have anything you want to say? No. Okay. Now, if that's a true one, okay, if those are trues, I'm going to have Zeus. I want you to give me an example of a false one. I haven't told you what it is yet, but I want you to give me a guess. 2 plus 1 equals 2. Why is that one false? Yeah, it's not the right answer, right? It's done wrong. So when I'm grading your quizzes and your tests and stuff, these are the ones that get the red X through them, right? So the false ones. All right, so like Zeus said, it's false because of the math's not done right. So an example of that is 1 plus 2 equals 2, or 2 plus 3 equals 6. All right? Those are false. All right? Elvis, give me another example of a false. 20 plus 20 equals 22. That's a good one. All right? Good. All right, now, we've had true and false ones. Does anybody have an idea what an open equation might look like? Ryan? 2 plus 2 equals x. Why is that one open? The x means something, right? This is a placeholder. Now, if x equals 2, it would be true, right? But what if x equaled 10? It's not true. So this is open until we know what x equals. There we go. All right? So like 2 plus x equals 6. All right? So those are open ones. Any one with at least one variable in it is open. Okay? Are we clear on true, false, and open? All right. Looking at the example 1, part A, B, and C, I want to know if they're a true, false, or open. I'm going to be calling on some people. So let's start with A, true, false, or open. Blake. Thank you, Blake. All right. If we look here, 24 plus 18.
42.
It's 42. 20 plus 22 is 42. This is true. Good. All right. Looking at part B, I want to know, is it true, false, or open? I'm going to call on Heidi. True, false, or open? False. Why'd you say false? That's not the right answer. What's 7 times 8? 56. 56 equal to 54? No. So that's false. All right. And part C, Zuleika, true, false, or open? Open. Why open? Because there's that letter in there, right? Does it have to be an X to be open? It could be N or M or A or B or whatever the variable happens to be. Any letter, right? Well, what if, so you guys said any letter. What if I said like that, something like that? Is that? That's plus question mark. Okay, it's a plus a question mark. Is that open? It's not a letter.
It's open still because it's trying to guess what it is.
Yeah, and this is kind of what you see in like elementary school before they give you variables, you know, they'll say like, hey, what goes here? And they give you a question mark instead of a variable. Right, remember those ones? So this is still open. A question mark can be a variable, right? It's easier to make an X than a question mark. All right, now a solution, when I'm talking about a solution of an equation, a solution is what makes an open equation true. All right, what makes an open equation true? So if I look at problem 2 over here, what type of equation do I have right here, Eddie? Open. Why? There's a variable in there, right? All right, now what they want to know is they want to say, if I take out the x, the variable, and I plug in 6, is this going to be true or false? All right, so I'm going to rewrite that. 32 is equal to 2 times 6 plus 12. All right? All right, so let's do that right-hand side. And let's ask Colton, what am I going to do first? Let's do order operation, right? 2 times 6 is 12. Now we have 12 plus 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. Colton, is that true or false? False. So is, because they're asking, is x equals 6 a solution? Is x equals 6 a solution? No. This is a no. Not a solution. Okay? Oops. There we go. Here we have an art student. They're making a model of the Mayan Great Ball Court in Chichen Itza, Mexico? Is that how you say it? No, I don't know. Chichen Itza. That's a fun word to say, though. All right. The court has a length that is 2.4 times its width. The student's model is 54 inches. What should the width of the model be? We are just going to try to set this up first, okay? Because in your homework, I think all it asks is for you to set it up. And then after we set up, we'll solve it just because of I think we can. Okay? So let's look at this and see where our math words are, okay? So let's read the first sentence. An art student wants to make a model of the Mayan Great Ball Court in Chichen Itza, Mexico. Is there any math stuff in there? No. Okay, now let's read the second one. You guys tell me when to stop when I read something that has math stuff, okay? The length. There you go. Thank you. The length, right? So we're talking about length. How long is the length? Do we know? So let's give it a variable. Which variable do you guys want? How about x would work, right? But I like L for length, okay?
Length is 54 inches. No, it's not. Length is 54.
That's correct. Now let's work this, and then I'm going to call on you in about 2 minutes. 1 minute. All right? Of the court is, all right? No, is means what? Okay, thank you. 2.4 times. 2.4 times its width. W. So this is the math sentence that came from this sentence right there. Right? Now let's read a little bit further. The length of the student's model is 54 inches. Haley, what am I going to do with this sentence right here? What does this sentence right here tell me to do? You just told me, like, there we go, 54 inches is the length. So I'm going to take out the length, put in 54. All right? And then it says, what should the length of the width of the model be? On your homework, it's going to ask for this. It doesn't say solve, it just says set up. All right, this is an open one, right? What about here? Was it open here? Yes. Yeah, it was open here when it had two of them, right? So this is where the homework's going to ask you to stop, but I know that we can go further with this, right? So Karina, what's our next step going to be? Divide by 2.4. Divide by 2.4. W is equal to, what's 54 divided by 2.4? I don't know.
It equals 22.5.
22.5. All right, so that should be the width. Good.
It should be good.
All right, oops. Now here's your homework. It's not a lot of problems. All right? Have fun doing it and everything.